Hi YouTube, it's Diane, and today is April 24th. Yeah, April 24th, 2022. And I have new earbuds, so I'm hoping it's picking up. If it's not, I'll have to redo this again. Yay. It's been a while. I know it's been a while. I'm getting a haircut this week because she couldn't get me in before, but we're going to go with it. And I have been doing some spring cleaning purging, and so I have this area I have to clean now, and that's why I'm gonna do the video now, because I have haul and I just want to put it away and kit up stuff that I'm going to start. I was gonna have an FFO done. That didn't happen. I don't have any new starts. And I'll do health update later. Things are good. Things are good. But to kind of get rid of some of these piles, I'm going to show just a wee bit of haul. I'm going to show my Silk of the Month from Fiberlicious. And this is the March one where there is tea, there's hope. She makes these little cards. I think they're cute. And this is the colorway for March. These delicious browns. This is Cocoa Truffle. Cafe au lait. I might need to start that one. Wonder if I showed that. Acorn. Oops, dropped one. Pecan. And dark chocolate. Love my dark chocolate. I also have April's. I took them out of the plastic. Throw them on the floor because that's where my garbage is at the moment. These are April's and Grape Myrtle Garden. So we have Aphrodite, this multicolored one. Boysenberry, light purple. Mulberry. Sorry. This darker purple is Mitten Purple. And this one is Radiant Orchid. It's definitely pink, but it's more toward the purple end of pink rather than the red end of pink. Just so I can put that over there. And this pile I think I can put aside for the moment. Again, I'm just trying to make more room here, because I'm trying to organize my area. And I've got stacks of project bags out here, some with current whips, some with new things. So I'm just trying to keep ahead of it a little bit. So, from Garon's Stitchery, I think I mentioned it last time. I don't think I had the patterns that I'd ordered from Market, but I had mentioned that they'd be in the mail, and they were within a couple days afterward. And this one by Brenda Gervais, Rejoice Evermore. I love the birds. I love the birds. And the house, somebody pointed out the curtains on the house. I think that gives it some unique personality, and it's not a huge house compared to some other patterns that I own. I will probably do it in mostly DMC. She gives you the overdyes and the DMC colors. But I think on the birds in the house, I can see the variegation. I might just pull from my overdyes on those when I stitch this one. I'm gonna put it down here for now, so then I know I could file it. Matter in Hand by Jeanette Douglas. I think it was Traditional Stitches. They did a video right before Market with Jeanette, and she showed the model. Of course, that sold me on it. This calls for overdyes, but it also gives you DMC options. And on this one, I definitely am going to use the DMC, except maybe the tomato. No, I like a red tomato, a solid red tomato, so I think I'll just go solid there. maybe like the blue on here, but in general, DMC, because DMC is, it's a reliable fiber. And yeah, that one, I'm not sure where I put that one. This one, Erica Michaels, Liberty Games. Plastic opener, might as well just take out the plastic. And I'm going to use DMC. Yeah, I'm using DMC. Maybe on the flag use overdyed, but the rest I'm going to do DMC. Which I have most of the colors here. I'm going to put that up today. So I like to use my thread drops. And one I have kitted up, but I haven't started it yet. And that is Plum Street Samplers. This is the day. There's going to be crinkle, so hold on. There we go. And I know my light is giving a weird glare on the camera. Sorry. I tried configuring this area totally different, but I am not a professional. So there we go. Now this particular pattern is mostly DMC and a handful of overdyes. And what I did is I went through my overdyes. Some of them I had, and then I just pulled my overdyes for the ones I didn't have. So I will be following what the pattern calls for as much as possible, and I'm going to stitch it on 40 count flax. This is one of my go-tos that I love to use. And I know that Sunshine Stitchers has a Plum Street Sampler month coming up. I don't remember the month though, so I might look at that. The other one I have is Quaker Gardens by Liz Matthews. I put it in there already. I didn't realize that that was one that I had gotten from Gary. I thought I had gotten that from Barb at Truly Into Stitching, which is where I purchased some other items. So I did Barb, Gary and Ronnie from Garon Stitchery, and Stitchville. So from Stitchville, I got this one, Really Friends by Heartstring Samplery. I have had the pleasure of meeting Beth Twish. She's a very, very nice person. And I just really like this one. I mean, I like that this is not a house, it's a castle. It's kind of unique, characteristic. And then at Stitchville, I picked up Fragments in Time 2022, number 1 and number 2. I have 2018, all of them, 2021, all of them. I thought I had one more year. So yeah, I'm liking these. And these colors are just beautiful. Susquehanna Valley Samplers is her inspiration. Now one thing about these, there will be 8 of them. There are 7 colors, Weeks Dye Works, or DMC. They're all the same colors on all the pieces. So you don't have to, each pattern have a whole different set of floss. So one set of floss should stitch one set of these. And that I have to put somewhere special. Autumnhill, Rosewood Manor. I watched the Sunshine Stitchers when they talked to Karen Kluba, the designer, and she showed this sampler model. Yeah, and this is charted it's charted in Sullivan's. Doesn't she give you the DMC? She also gives you the DMC equivalent, and that is how I'm going to stitch it. Of course, I have to add Summer Hill and Spring Hill, and I'm going to make the assumption there's going to be a Winter Hill. But yeah, this is just beautiful. And if I would not have seen the model, this wouldn't have jumped out to me. I mean, I love Karen's patterns. She is a genius with color. I have a number of her patterns and a number started. This one is, I don't know, this is, I'm trying to figure out which would be my favorite. Again, I picked this up at Stitchville. This one I know I got from Barb, Seasonal Etchings from Heartstring. I'm just going to pull from my own overdyes. And this one I got on my Valentine's Day gift for my husband, Smith House Sampler, Scarlett House. And I'm thinking I would do it in the silks, I think. Maybe. Maybe. But this one I also got at Karen Kliba at Crosshaven. This has a very Asian feel to me. Again, I could be totally wrong on her inspiration, but especially with the storks down here, which are easier to see here on the back. This is a digital rendering. Again, it's just pictures. If they put more money into the pictures, we'd have to pay more money for the patterns. But I'm so grateful that so many of these designers are so creative. It's just, it's beautiful. Now this one I think is DMC. Yeah, this one's charted for DMC. I love this one. And I have an idea of who to stitch this for at some point, but many of Karen's patterns are not, you know, weekend patterns. Let Love Rain, I think I showed this before. I think I got this from Barb. This one or Scarlett House Philadelphia Vine are my two favorites from Market. And I got this one from Stitchville. This one calls for 6 colors. 6 silks or 6 DMCs. And I'm thinking this Newcastle Woodland Brown that I purchased, I was thinking doing Smith Sampler on. Sorry, let me go this way. I might do this one on. So I might do the silks. 3 Gloriana and 3 Dinky Dyes. We shall see. So I'm going to put that aside for now. I got a little more space. Well, I picked up 2 quilting things. This is For the Love of Quilting magazine. I do like this one, the solid colors. Solid color quilting, that's really kind of catching my eye more. I definitely like piecing more than applique. I'm trying to remember if there was any others that really jumped out to me, like this Moonlit Mermaid, excuse me. Yes, please do not marinate your mermaids. The Anthem, that's the front one. That one I really like. I think it is all solids. Solid for most of it, but there's a little pattern in one. I've noticed with quilting, if one of them has that, it gives it just a little movement. Yeah. The others I think are just fine. And I like that they put like table toppers in here, so you can really just kind of play and experiment, so it doesn't always have to be a huge quilt. And this one I picked up at my quilt shop when I picked up my quilt of the month, block of the month. This is month 3. I have not finished month 2, so I don't have anything to show you on that. But I picked up this one, Scrap Basket Beauty by Kim Brackett. What I really liked about this is I have a number of my scraps pre-cut into squares, and this uses those sizes. And so this summer I want to just use them. I mean, they're just sitting back there, and okay, let's make them into something that's useful. So I really liked that one, again by Kim Brackett. So, oh, and this one, I also picked up this one at Stitchville, and it's going to be started soon. Spring Quaker by Lila Studios. This, just the picture is gorgeous. The picture is just absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now I do want to say, I'm part of her Facebook group, and, or is it, I can't remember if it's a group or if it's a business page, but she said on this particular pattern that there was a printing issue of the pattern. Now, future versions of this pattern will have it corrected, but mine did not have it corrected. And it has to do with these pinky peach flowers up here and this rabbit, his carrot down here. For some reason, that particular symbol did not print. And I don't want to break copyright, as I'd show you on my actual pattern page. You see everything else but that particular color. So if you're going to stitch this one, go to her website, and she has a free updated download of that part of the chart. I think it's page 4 and page 9, I want to say. So then you can fill in those. And what I just did is I just took my regular chart and I just marked it in. Yeah, I didn't worry about making a copy or any of that. I just marked it in. And because of that, there's one extra symbol. So there's one extra color. I'm doing mine in the DMCs. And the extra color that you need is DMC 352. And that's specifically for those areas on the chart. So just be aware of that before you start stitching this chart. Look at her website, and she has it there that you can download just those parts of the chart. I'm going to stitch it on 40 count Vintage Country Mocha. I have to zigzag this today. When my sewing machine's right there, I'm just trying to make it more accessible. So yeah, this one is definitely going to get kitted sooner than later. Or, I'm sorry, started. It is kitted. So I'll put that one over there. But let's talk finish. I have a finish. And I am so happy to have this finished. Of all the pieces that I plan on stitching in 2022, this is the piece I wanted finished. And it is done. I just got into a roll toward the end of March. I thought, oh, you know, I want to put some stitches into that. And then WhipGo called it for a WhipGo number to have 1,000 stitches, if I remember right. Yeah, 1,000 stitches. Well, I just got into a groove and I kept going. And it is a 3-thing sampler, Moira Blackburn. Now I'm stitching this on 40 count Verdal White, V-E-R-D-A-L. Verdal White is an even weave, more even weave than linen type of material. It is very nice to see. You could see the holes and everything. It loves to fray. So I tried to zigzag the edge as I usually do if they're not already pre-serged. It didn't work. So what I did is I put leftover quilt binding on the edge. So right here. Now this is the selvage, so I knew that wouldn't unravel. But this, you could do that, or you could use double fold bias tape, or you could even like roll your edge just a little bit and run a seam down the edge. I know there are other techniques to keep your fabric from fraying. You definitely want to do that with Verdal. But here she is. I stitched this for my 30th wedding anniversary, which was in March. And last time you saw it, I had there's an alphabet here. I had part of this alphabet done and everything up was done. So I just kept going and 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 finished it off. So let me get a little closer here. These are DMC colors, 1 strand over 2 threads. And that is the call for. It is beautiful. These colors, when I first pulled the colors, like this purple and there's this peachy, fleshy tone here, I thought, oh, I don't know about these colors. But then I started stitching, and they work well, so well together. Now this line had something else in it, but what I changed it to is Shannon and Diane celebrating 30 years of marriage. The year we were married, 1992. This appears backwards to me, so I'm hoping it doesn't to you. In 2022 when we celebrated in March. And here she had a year So I put our last name there. She gives you two different alphabets, one larger, or it's taller, and one shorter. So I put the shorter alphabet here and the taller alphabet here. And so now I need to get this framed. Oh, I was going to bring my 25th anniversary sampler down to show you. I'll have to show that in another time after I get this framed. Yeah, I'd like to get this framed this year. But I really like it. I like the motifs. I will say, one thing I don't like about the pattern is the pages butt right up against each other, meaning it doesn't have a couple of columns on this page that are repeats of the previous page. So you have to watch that. And there are a few misprints, like here on the roof. Most of these motifs are symmetrical. And so there was a stitch that should have been one line down, but it was marked one line up. It was easy to figure out and just make that adjustment. And I know there were a couple of other motifs that were supposed to be symmetrical, but for whatever reason it didn't. There was a stitch missing or an extra stitch, and so I made it symmetrical. I mean, not every motif is symmetrical throughout the whole piece, but in general, most of her motifs are. And there was a correction up here, and I couldn't figure it out at first why. It was in the pattern, why they'd given us an extra paper. Well, these three sets of flowers here are all the same colors, but these are dark, light colors, dark, light colors. That was the difference between the original printing, and then they just changed it that, yeah, those are supposed to be every other. And that color scheme is repeated down here. So you have the peachy, the dark, the light, the peachy, the dark, the light, and through here you have the peach, the light, the peach, the dark. So it is a running pattern throughout this whole piece. It's the only Moira Blackburn I own at the moment, but it's not going to be the only one that I'm going to stitch because her symbols are very nice to read. Her color use, I mean, this is DMC, and again, I thought this purple would look just totally out of place. It works. It works so well together. So I really, really like her pattern. So I will be getting another one of her patterns at some point. But that is my big finish. So now I can put it away. Other stitching, when I was finishing that up, like working on that, I did all the border and then I was working on that last floral. Before I did the words, I was still going back and forth on what words I should use and stuff. So the words were the last thing I added. This one was calling to me. I'm not quite sure why she was calling to me, but she was calling to me. And this is still on my... Yeah, I want to undo this. So give me just a second here. I'm not sure why she was calling to me, because she's not on my whip go. I haven't worked on her in a couple years, but I just went with it, because why not? Okay. I have been using my Q-Snap as a scroll frame, because I'm trying to figure out if I want a scroll frame or not. And I already have a Lowry, so let me take this off my Lowry. Come on, let go. There we go. So, Aphrodite by Mirabilia. When I pulled her out, I just had been working on the tail. And I thought, no, I'm going to do skin and go up. And so last night, I was done with the skin and the hair. Now there's some open spots for beads, and I haven't done any of the back stitching, obviously. And then she has kind of some tendril bead back stitching that will come around her. But I finished her skin, And her last night, I had finished her hair the night before. Yes, she's beautiful. So now I had the tail, this tail part already done. So I want to just keep working down on her. And I had gotten to starting on the shell a little bit. So I just love how these colors, they're just beautiful, beautiful colors. The fabric is 32 count Sea God by Under the Sea Fabric. It is opal, meaning it has just that little bit of sparkle. That's the back, sorry. Try to see if you could see the sparkle. You might not be able to see the sparkle, but it's just that opal hint of sparkle. But yeah, I'm just using my Q snaps as a scroll rod to see if I'm going to use scroll rods before I invest the money. And I'm thinking, yeah, I probably will. So for my birthday, I think that's what I'll ask for. I think I will order the Almanac, the Quantum, or what's the other one I was looking at? Roll a Frame, or there's another one that Stitchville carries, and I don't remember which brand that is. But my birthday is in July, so I'll worry about it then. So I have my Q snap set up. I need to make myself a grime guard. I have a grime guard, but because of the size of this particular Q snap configuration, my grime guard isn't big enough. So I have it set up so I do have, you know, these sides are open. Now I know you can buy the magnetic things to get this little tauter. I don't need mine drum tight, but I do want it to be a little tighter. So if you use those, can you just let me know what ones you use? I bought some from Amazon and they are garbage. As in, if you pull on them at all and the magnets come together, they'll pull the other magnet out. And I'm like, why would you do that for what this is designed for? I might use it like for a needle minder that you can like slide your scissors in or something, but well, the ones I bought are worthless. So I tried to remember, I know Just Keep Stitching has talked about them. I thought Sunshine Stitchers has talked about them. Country Stitchers, but I don't know what video it would be in. Also, when I put this in my Lowry, I have the side clamp. I put some of this gripper stuff between the clamp and my Lowry, so then the Lowry, I actually have to replace this piece. The Lowry can squish this, but not crack this. And when I was using this on 3 things, I had enough side fabric to use the sides, but yeah, if you can direct me to the exact ones, because I bought them from Amazon, but I bought the wrong ones. So I would appreciate that. Any help? Put that over there. And that's what I've been stitching on. That there, so I can get a new piece. And Aphrodite, I'm using all the called for. Whatever is called for. Put it there. Just add some Stitchy kindness. My dear friend, she sent me some beautiful cards. These are just beautiful. Look at these. They're just beautiful, beautiful cards. And she also, I've been doing some cleaning out, sorting, organizing. So, Cross Stitch and Beading magazine. Now these, a lot of them are like a peyote type of beading, but you can also use them for cross stitch. And I like that this has all the Christmas ornaments in it. There's some other ones on the back. Cross stitch and beading. That one's at issue 67. This one's issue 63. And then I thought there was another, yeah, another couple. This was issue 93. And issue 60. And issue 55. Also, the Ultimate Flowers cross-stitch collection. I have some of these other Ultimate ones. And a variety of European designers. I like that they give you different ideas on how to use these pieces. Yeah. And then this is Wedding Samplers. And this one here is specifically the Lost Needleworks on the cover. I don't think that's the only one, and I thought there were other designers in here. I could be wrong on that. And Sheepish Designs Forget-Me-Not Sampler. See, the pink will fade, the tulip wither, but a virtuous mind will bloom forever. Stitch a beaded garden, excuse me. And some other. And then Sampler and Antique Needlework. She'd given me some other ones. Yeah, I've been tabbing things. So, volume 1, volume 2, 4, 11. And this one is this is volume 35. Look at this beautiful, beautiful piece. And that one is tagged. Of course, it's not a small sampler because, you know, I don't do the small ones. I think Lisa Smith and I are in the same category in that respect. 340 stitches high by 295 stitches wide. Yeah. So you need on 40 count, you need a 23 by 21 inch piece. They use Creme Brulee by R&R Reproductions. Beautiful. Thank you, sweet friend. You know who you are. I'm thinking about you and praying for you. But I think that's all the stitching stuff I have to show you. I will be doing a review in a separate video of the Molly Ollie organizer. And I will say, as a mom of 14 kids, and a newer to me viewer has said, oh, you know, I can't believe you do all this with 13 kids. And so I replied, spoiler alert, I have 14 now. So she's going through from video 1. Bless you. But the Molly Ollie organizer, and as a diaper organizer, oh, I wish I had something like that. I tried different things, but I'll do that review. I'm using it for my Bible study journaling stuff. That'll be a separate video. I really don't think I'm going to be able to get back for another video until after my son graduates. So I have one son graduating from college the first week in May, and they have restrictions in place, so we're not going to be able to see him live, but we're going to do something. I'm going to do something. He'll have a bachelor's in psychology and a bachelor's in art, studio art. And then my son graduates from our homeschool the following weekend. And so it's all those little things that just eat up a lot of time. And so I'm trying to to do it and get it done. And then he'll have his open house the beginning of June. So I really don't think I would come back until after, mid-May. I could be totally wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, so life update. Health-wise, I'm doing well. I went to GI and she had some good suggestions. They're working. Nothing too extreme, just very simple changes. And then saw my regular general practitioner doctor, and we have a plan with regard to my heart. They've determined that my heart, a 4 centimeter opening in the ascending aortic it has to be 4 centimeters before it's an aneurysm. Mine is at 3.9. So, a smidge. But again, we're talking the heart, so that smidge means a lot. And so I was hearing very different things from the cardiologist and the cardiosurgeon. I mean, I feel that if I would need surgery, this would be the guy I'd go with. I think he's a very nice doctor. It's just, he deals with this every single day, and it was really nice to talk with my regular doctor who has been with me for a few years now. Okay, this is what I've been doing, and this is what they found, and so now we have a plan. I'll have my regular annual physical in August, and mammogram and all that fun stuff, and we'll do an echo of my heart. We'll schedule it at that time, so I'm not sure when it would be, but just to keep an eye on things. This week my dog and I, we went for a walk, not this last Monday, but the Monday before. It was just gorgeous. Oh man, it was gorgeous. I knew I couldn't do my 4 miles yet. I got to build up my endurance again. But it was just beautiful. Well, there was this creepy person on the trail. So he went that way, we went this way. But then the temperature went through the floor. Oh man. And then this last, I don't think it was Monday. I think it was like Wednesday. My dog and I went for a walk again because it was sunny, but it was so cold. So cold. Because that wind was just cold. And it's like, it's been windy here for like 2 weeks. I'm tired of it. Yesterday we had thunderstorms. One of those where the clouds have that gray-green color. Yeah. And today it's cold. Yesterday it was, I think, nearly 70 degrees. Today I think we might get to 45. And then tomorrow is supposed to be 37 as the high. And we might see 50 degrees by next Saturday. It's like, oh my gosh. And rain. Oh. We had our snow tires removed off our car. And then the weather drops. So it's just been muddy. I haven't been able, I have a black thumb, meaning I have a hard time. I know some people can pick up a twig and they can make it big and beautiful and beautiful gardens. I am not that kind of person, but I'm going to try. I've been doing my homework, keeping it simple. I got a grow light because I bought plants. I thought, well, I can get these and but the grow lights are really, really helping. And we planted seeds, the kids, the youngers and I, so that was their science. It's like, okay, now we're gonna watch these germinate and talking about life science and stuff. So it's just muddy. You can't get outside to do stuff. Cabin fever. I always get this way this time of year. Cabin fever, it's like, okay, old man winter, go to bed. You're done. You're done. We are in spring now, but it's Minnesota. Also, we are going to be moving. Not in 2022. Maybe the end of 2023, into 2024, unless things change. My husband has a different managerial structure at work, and it's working very well for him. And so this move would be a good thing in that respect. And we're going to get some land and just build a house that as we get older, we can, one level living type of thing as much as possible. And so we're looking at different things there. But that's one reason I'm purging. Yeah. I will say that this summer I will be doing more quilting, and particularly for September, because September is Aneurysm Awareness Month, and I want to do something in the floss tube community in that regard, and I'm thinking I'd make a quilt, but I also want to make some project bags, and I found some beautiful burgundy fabric at a quilt shop. So I'm going to be making project bags periodically, and then I would do some kind of project bag sale, all proceeds going to an aortic awareness association. There's one in particular I have in mind, but that is what my plan is. I also plan on going through some of my cross stitch patterns and doing some giveaways. Well, maybe I would make some bundles. Maybe that'd be better. Like I'd have a bundle and people could bid on them. Again, all proceeds would go to this organization. Yeah, I'm going to still think about it. Or do a stitch along where you would have to have a pattern with a heart. I know it's going to be hard for you to find one, I know. It could be either a motif in the piece, in the name of the designer, like heart and hand, that piece that I just showed. Maybe in the name of the fabric. So that would be one way to participate, or it would have to use burgundy, because burgundy is the ribbon color for aneurysm awareness, and aortic aneurysm awareness has burgundy with like a cream stripe on the edge. So your piece would have to have those two colors in it. Think DMC 814, 902, and cream would be 3865 or ecru, something along that. But I will formalize that, and I will contact other floss tubers so they can announce it too. But again, to do this type of fundraiser, I've never done it before, but I would like to do it, and September is Aneurysm Awareness Month. I also know it's Sampler Month, but a sampler, hearts, so a lot of samplers have hearts in them, or say the word heart in them. But I think that's all I have to say for now. Yeah, if you know those magnetic thingies, can you give me the link? Stitchville, to my knowledge, does not carry them. I think Keepsakes does, but I need to know the specific one, because the one I bought is garbage. We will use them, like they'll work for refrigerator magnets, but I do not see how you could use them, and they're supposed to like wrap cords and stuff. I mean, it pulls the magnet out of the end, and I don't get it. But I'd appreciate that if you give me. And with regard to the beading video, I am motivated to finish her, and I would use her to demonstrate beading, because she has some different size beads, some of the fatter beads, the number 6s. I bead those a little bit different than I do the size 11s and size 15s. And I had a question with regard to beads that I will add to my list. But yeah, I still do intend to do that video. I know there are others out there, but I do intend to do that video, so I have not forgotten about you. Just, yeah, life. Life happens. But yeah, I'm going to let you go now. I've talked long enough. I'm behind on floss tube a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. My Marine is waiting to hear if he got into a special program for his goals. It's like a 9-week program. So he might be gone for a couple months and then back for a couple months, and, you know, kind of the college thing. And my son, who's graduating from college, he's looking for a job. And so I think he's going to go to grad school at some point, but he hasn't officially declared that. Other than that, we are healthy. Just such a blessing. Oh, and my white blood cell counts are up, normal range. It could be just because I had COVID. I was recovering from COVID, and COVID tanked them, and that's why they found that. But then, of course, that led to them finding this hole in my heart, essentially, in very, very simple terms. But it's not bulging. I do not have high blood pressure. I have very, very, very few limitations on myself. So I'm good on that. That works for me. And the advice from the GI, who I will see again probably in June, it's very sensible advice and very easy to incorporate. So no weird treatments or fancy prescriptions or anything like that, which I'm very grateful for. But that is where I'm at. I thank you for subscribing, hearing me ramble, watching to the end. I don't have a giveaway this video. I just don't have the energy to do that right now. But then, you know, if I make those project bags, I'll let you all know about that. Maybe I sell them on eBay. No, I don't know. Anyway, I will do all the things. And oh, my whip go for April, 3 things. The other one is Bristol Sampler, and I did 1 day on that, and so I'm not going to bother showing it. Aphrodite was calling to me, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going with it. So when a piece calls to you, enjoy it, have fun. But I'll talk to you all later, and I hope you have a good rest of April and into May, and I'll probably speak to you after Mother's Day. And just enjoy your family. Just enjoy your family. Family is good. Family is good. Yes, there's always drama, but family is good. Love to you all.